Let's revisit some old images from 2018. While preparing for Huely 2023, I had a look back at previous limited colour palette challenges. I did this to remind myself of the colour palettes I enjoyed and also figure out which colour palettes I would like to work with again. And here are my 5 favourites from 2018. Some of you might recognise this character, which is Mara Sov, an NPC from the game Destiny. This was actually one of the first images I painted when I decided to set myself the challenge to only use limited colour palettes for a while back in 2018. I have to admit that the colour palette wasn't all that imaginative, as it's all based on the character's colours, but I am loving the blue and purples with the cream and orange, as they create such a good contrast. I'd like to point out that I'm not going to talk about my approach for these images, as I honestly can't remember all that much about what I was thinking back then. On top of that, my process has changed a lot over time. Hell, at this stage, I hadn't even found that textured brush that I use for most of my work. I felt blues and pinks would work best for this image. The dark blue was a perfect match for the markings of this little husky puppy, and the light blues worked really well for shadows in the white fur. The pinks were picked to add some much needed warmth in the image, and I ruled out a warm yellow or an orange for this, simply because it didn't seem quite right, even though I know they would have worked as well. The limited colour palette challenge I set myself in 2018 was highly unplanned, as in I didn't prepare for anything. I just found colours I liked and painted whatever sprung to mind or what inspired me at the time. So at that stage, this was just a challenge for myself, and I didn't expect anyone to join, and I didn't even think about asking anyone to join. But this exploration of colour was the beginnings of what turned into my annual Huely Limited Colour Palette Challenge, which has been a lot better planned in recent years. For this landscape scene, I originally picked a colour palette consisting of 5 colours, but in the end, I only ended up using 3 of them. As I was painting, I just realised that I didn't need all of the colours, so 2 of them were just ruled out. This is because these 3 colours I picked created a perfect amount of contrast, so you don't really miss any of those additional colours. Okay, so pinks and blues are really the colour combos that keep reappearing in this video, but I can guarantee that there was a bigger colour selection. However, these were the colour palettes that stood out to me when looking back at the previous years, and they are the colour palettes I felt would be interesting to explore a bit more, which is why they ended up on this list. It's really nice to look back at work you've done previously, not to revel in how good it was, or in certain cases cringe over how bad it was, but it really helps remind you of where you started, and you can see how far you've come. A lot of the times you can also find things you forgot you enjoyed, be it topics, mediums, or colour palettes. So don't be afraid of looking back, because sometimes you can find inspiration there too. This final image has a much warmer colour palette compared to the other 4 images in this video. I remember that the mood was one of the things I wanted to capture in this image, because I wanted to work on something that felt like relaxing on a warm autumn day, though I also wanted a little twist. which is the surprise of being face to face with a really cute raccoon. I'd love to hear what you think about these colour palettes and if they're the kind of colours you'd like to use in your work. So let me know in the comment section. Thank you for joining me in this look back at previous work. You can find more process videos here on my YouTube channel, and there's more of my work on my website and on social media.